In this video, I'm gonna share a behind the scenes story of my most controversial video I've ever published. This video took place in 2018. I published it a couple months ago just from my phone. This is a insurance adjuster from Guide 1 Insurance on a church here in Minnesota. If you have not seen this video, I'm gonna put a link to this video below as well. But first, I wanna address this issue, and I want everybody who's in the industry watching insurance adjuster violating the law, doing something unethical, something illegal, all their bullshit. Do not be afraid to take your phone. I want to give huge shout out to Raymond Vendel. You've seen his video, tons and tons of views, millions of views. Do not be afraid to expose insurance companies. Here's the deal. Insurance companies are spending billions of dollars to brainwash population, brainwash everyone how good they are, good neighbor, and we're there for you, and State Farm and all their propaganda machine is working for them. What do we have? Well, we have the internet. We are right, they are wrong. This is one of those examples. I will tell you exactly why and when I decided to start filming this guy and where it landed. I'm gonna answer and reply to the worst hate comments on this video, and I'll share entire story of this claim and how it actually got resulted. But again, if you're the contractor, do not be afraid to film them. In most states, you can do it, especially if you're somewhere in the public, like church in this case. Film them, document it. If you don't have a platform to share it, send it to me, I'll post them for you. I'm gonna put all my information below. If this video brings any value to you, subscribe to the channel, come back for more content like this. Let's go. So first of all, this is church. Guide 1 Insurance is one of the worst companies when it comes to insuring churches. In my humble opinion, they are preying on churches to insure them because they know the churches are not controversial, they don't like conflict, and if this would go their way, this church would never get new roof. This video takes place in 2018. Let me show you this job in 2014. 4 years prior, my company did the metal job right here. So this is the property, this is where we are standing. It's 2018, we have massive hailstorm. We're talking about 2-inch bolts, 2-inch hail that destroyed everything around. But 2 years prior, we installed this job. So this is 26 or 28, I can't remember, I think it's 26 gauge metal standing seam. We installed it in 2014, so we knew it was brand new. And every building around us, those apartments in the back, that shingle roof, this actual church property, asphalt shingles, that got destroyed. Church across the street, there is a Catholic church, they have a metal roof. That church got a new roof from insurance. Pretty much the entire area, 200,000 homes was affected by this hailstorm, one of the biggest ever. Church has 4 buildings total. The one at the front that we were with the adjuster doing inspection, it started there. And what was very important, when you meet insurance adjuster, you immediately sense the tone. If he is in the mood to buy it, if he's reasonable or unreasonable, and depending on how that goes, he sets the tone for the rest of the inspection. So if he starts denying and not seeing stuff right away, you get the idea that everything's gonna get denied. So this is brand new roof. That building right there, it's older one, same quality, same newer, but same type of roof as the first one. This is the lighter gauge out of all of them. And this roof was absolutely destroyed. Looked just like a car after hail damage. Tons of dents. Every couple inches you have a pretty big dent. If you look from the ground, you actually can see oil cannings. It will not leak right away, but it will start rusting in those low spots later. All of these roofs in this neighborhood were getting new roofs. So this is a context. And we are standing on this roof right here. So conversation with it started there. You can see what he is doing right here. So this roof is huge. We're talking about at least 40, probably 60 feet wide by 20 to 30 feet each slope. high and really big slope. So usually in residential roofing, for those of you who are not familiar with the process, insurance companies on residential asphalt shingles, if you have a hail damage, they're going to come out, they're going to measure 10 by 10 area, and they're going to circle how many dents in the 10 by 10 they have seen. On a commercial property here, he did not do 10 by 10 test. He did 12 by 12 inches, 1 by 1 foot. So you can imagine, we're talking about 1% of the roof of, 40 by 20 would be 80 squares. He's doing 1, but it's bigger. I think it's 25 by 50. So it's more than 100 squares per slope. And he is circling about 12 by 12 square. Now, what happened next led to me start filming him. As he identified the 12 by 12 square, he uses yellow chalk and he marked it to show the dent. So there was 2 dents. You can see he was marking it. Actually, I'm wrong. 16 by 16 test squares. He's doing 2 of those in 2 different areas. The roof is obviously old, but the ridge was completely shattered. And again, you do have 2-inch hail event. You have brand new roofs right next to it, destroyed. But he was arguing that we don't know if dent is newer. Like, for example, you see that dent right there? It's a dent. The roof was shot, but it's a 24 gauge. It's very heavy roof. It was painted, so the dents were a little bit harder to see. So both 16 by 16 test area has 2 obvious hail dents. And you can imagine if you have 100 square and you have 2 16 by 16 squares with the dents in them, how many do you have on the entire slope? Plenty. So you can see the dents in a chalk. So there's dents here, and he identify them. But do you see what he did? So the way insurance adjuster work, they come out, they mark the area. On the asphalt shingles, they would circle the dent. And most insurance companies have number of hits you have to have per area to total the roof. For example, State Farm, I think it's 8 per test. So they're gonna circle 8, they're gonna put 8 hits for 10 by 10 square. Here is similar. North slope, he did say that there's a few dents, but then he puts 0. It's like me and you, we're looking at something. Your job is to identify the damage. You identify the damage, but then you send 0. And then conversation started. He said he's gonna send the pictures to the desk adjuster for the desk adjuster to identify if it's enough damage. Well, desk adjuster gonna look at the picture with a 0 next to it. So pretty much he's committing fraud at this point. And this is the first roof that we're looking at. We're not going to asphalt shingles yet or brand new roof we installed a couple of years ago. That would be non-deniable. But when you have this kind of result already, what are you gonna do? So now he's referring that guide 1 will look at the prior claims on this roof. So this roof never been replaced. This church never filed a claim with this insurance company for years. Now you have obvious hail damage. This is why insurance became the biggest scam in the United States. You have a 2-inch hail damage all over, like non-deniable. Every single building is getting replaced. And he is saying that guide 1 will look at the record of this property. What for? Church is paying you premiums for years after years after years. Now they need new roof. Now the roofs are dented. And you're saying that it has to do something with the prior. It has nothing to do with the prior claims. They never got money. They never got anything improved. You do, even if a roof would have a damage 5, 10, 15 years ago, they never file a claim. And there is a brand new hail and it destroyed their property. It created more dents and you can see it. You cannot argue it. But then yet you're putting 0 and you're sending it to your office. How crooked are you gonna be with your client? One of the shadiest practices for insurance company to see something and say, I don't see it. It doesn't get worse than this. I mean, I'm talking about your chalk, so you're sending to your office.
I got a close-up of that thing, and if they want to cover that, they will.
But you're sending them 0 in your chalk when there is a dent. So he's saying, I send them close shot. If they want to cover it, they would. They're not going to cover if you're putting 0 to it. They would cover it if you put, I see 2 dents in this square. But if you're lying to them, if you're not buying this roof, they're not going to do it.
Are you recording me?
Yes.
You are?
Yes.
Okay, well, you can't record me
Why I cannot record you?
because we're done.
Why I can't record you?
Because you're not allowed to do that.
Says who?
Yes, I can. And here's the thing about recording, guys. We're in Minnesota. We're one-party consent legally. I don't even have to tell you I'm recording. If you're calling me from other state, I'm gonna record the conversation without telling you because we're one-party consent. Talk to your lawyers about your state. But a lot of states, not California probably, but a lot of states are one-party consent, which means you can record other party without telling them you're recording them, especially in a public place. And this is church, it's public property.
Why I cannot record you?
Because we're done.
Why I can't record you?
Because you're not allowed to do that.
Says who?
So he said we're done. So here's what happened next. Guide 1 requested church for me not to be present when they come back. Of course, church is not controversial. They're gonna say that yes to that. They came out and they have bought 3 properties. They have bought the properties I showed you earlier. So this roof got bought. So they pretty much says, yes, there's plenty of damage on this roof because it was dented like left to right. They also bought this property right here that got new shingles. They did not buy this one. They did buy the building on the back. So can you explain to me, how can you buy 3 out of 4 properties? How can you say that 3 out of 4 properties did have 2-inch hail damage? We're gonna write you a check. I mean, it was like $150,000, $160,000 claim. They still saved them $50,000, $60,000 for not replacing the first one. So Guide 1, you're crooks, you're liars, just like typical insurance company. And if this church would decide to hire a lawyer, engineer, and really pursue insurance company to pay, they would pay for the 4th building. What I have to say about recording and how to deal with the crooked insurance companies, they have to be exposed. Insurance companies are exposing contractors when we do something shady. I'll give you an example. I testify in court against my own sales rep, and I testify and he got a felony, Steven Adentel. He scammed his own church. It was $300,000 deal. He pocketed $60,000 and I witnessed it. So we do have crooked salespeople, we do have crooked business owners, but we also do have crooked adjusters like this guy. We have to expose them all. If you have videos of crooked people in this industry, send them to me, I'll publish them. Now, I promised you I'm gonna answer a few comments on that video and I will do it here. And if you guys gonna comment this video, I will be responding as well. Scott says the adjuster was correct. He should have explained occurrence to the roofer. There was hail dents. They were hail dents, but they are old and cannot be included in the current claim. Says who? Claim is the claim, dent is the dent. If we have a date and 2 weeks prior, every property in the area got 2-inch hail, insurance company cannot deny it. Even if it was older claim, you still have a newer claim. You cannot just deny it because, or 2 things need to happen. Stop taking money from the church and don't insure the property if you're not willing to assume liability. Tony Stark says, love the account. My car door has a tiny dent. Should I call the warranty out on it and ask for a new $3,500? Well, it's up to you. But if you're paying insurance and that dent is bothering you, yeah, you should file insurance claim or pay out of pocket. Sean Cordy says, you expect new roof cost of a dent. First of all, it's not one dent. We're talking about 16 by 16 inch area of more than 100 square roof. So, if 2% has a dent, what does 98% has? More than one dent, let's say it. These roofers go around and try to get people to file insurance claims so they can get paid for roofing work, and in the end just increases the homeowner's insurance. You also have insurance that never wants to pay. You have to go to court for everything now. Then lawyers get rich and price go up. Yes and no. First of all, insurance collects money, and in case of claims they have to pay out those monies. And in this case, Guide 1 has been collecting premiums for years. Once in a lifetime, church actually have a damage, they should pay out. Nothing to do with the roofers and nothing to do with the price goes up. Price should not go up in case of the claim. Price goes up if it hails every single year, an entire area all of a sudden becomes liability and costs more. Then insurance companies will start increasing prices, but it's not going to increase, price not going to increase based on 1 or 2 claims. I've seen a lot of these insurance versus contractor claim videos, and it's the first one. I only see contractors trying so hard to record the video to post it, and good inspector doing his job well. Well, again, I did not want to record this adjuster. I started recording him when I saw 0 next to the dent that he identified. That needed to be documented because we've seen no intention of buying this roof. When a roof needs to be replaced, you can tell when you mop up the water and empty buckets. Other than then get off the roof causing damage. You're a scam artist. A roof does not need to be replaced only when it leaks. Few things about it. If you drive through towns, you will see a lot of rusty roofs. And if you don't replace hail damaged roof, those dents will start rusting right away. So this roof might last 50 years after the hail damage. You're not gonna do anything right now, but in 20 years you get 1 rusty roof. James Austin says nothing wrong with that roof. Claims are based on dull. If this is a new storm, then there would splatter marks on the hail impacts. Yes, actually, I agree with you, but there were splatter marks, but we also have pretty blind adjuster who refused to see them. The burden of proof on the policy holder. Showing dents in metal that could be from anything isn't proof. Never tell a PH to file a claim unless the dents in the metal have splatter marks or large enough to see without marking over them. 100% there is a plenty of spatter marks, and he even said it verbally many times. I see the spatter marks, but I don't see it around that dent. Well, what else is there to see? The whole roof has splatter marks, and we have dents. Anyway, All Lives Matter says, I bet the adjusters deny this because there are probably very few, if not no other damage to roofs in the area. Wrong. Every roof in the area was getting replaced. If you Google 2018 Minnesota hail damage, you will see 200,000 homes replaced. Catholic church in front of us were getting new roof. Apartments behind us were getting new roofs. Every roof in the neighborhood was getting replaced. Now, if there was a hailstorm and there has been a load of calls go in insurance companies, then most of the time they know there is a damage that they have to cover. Again, you will see 2 State Farm houses next to each other. One will be approved and one will be denied. You don't know what you're talking about. But if there's only a few that call, then they know that most of the time someone is trying to get over on insurance. The adjusters are not stupid. They can be pretty stupid. And I can't help but wonder if that's what happened in this case. No, that's not what happens in this case. All right, guys, comment below what you think about this story. If you have news stories, if you want to publish them and you don't have a platform, send it to us and we would like to do it for you. We're looking for exposing insurance adjusters and contractors alike who are doing it their own way, who are not ethical and who is pretty much a crook in this business. They have to be exposed and they have to be ashamed. Guide 1, change your ways.